My name is Arun Jagtiani, and I'm a proud St. Martin. In a few short weeks, our country is going to be heading to the polls to elect 15 new members to Parliament, and I think the entire voting population can benefit from knowing a little bit more about who these candidates are. Over the next few days, I'm going to interview a few new faces and a few political veterans. So join me, St. Martin, let's talk politics. The issue we've heard a lot about in the news regarding the school children is school fights, which it behooves me that this makes headlines. So it says to me that has it really gotten out of control to that level that it's and yeah, again, forgive me for not knowing firsthand, but what's your take on that? Is it really gotten that far out of control, and is there a solution? And what's the cause for this?
The school fights have gotten out of control.
Okay.
Not because of the subsidy, because the school fights existed a long time.
Yes.
But the problem is, how can we solve this? And this is also one of the points that we brought forward in the Parliament meeting. So right now we're seeking a way on how to.
Is one of the causes being that, and this is just maybe a theory, we live in a society now where it's, dual income households. So both parents have to work in most cases, to make ends meet. So the children are left unattended from, as soon as the school bell rings until mommy or daddy comes home in the evening. There's, 4 or 5 hours there where they're left somewhat unattended. And I guess they're exposed to different circles, different crowds, maybe not always positive influences.
That's correct.
And is this leading then to, or it's leading them into to resolving matters or doing irresponsible things, which leads to the fights?
Well, exactly. That's a good point that you brought up, because of all of this, what you just mentioned, we have, for example, 3 security guards that were beaten up in our school. One of them had their arm fractured. Another one was unconscious, right? So it's like a constant whirlwind with all of this, what is happening. And together with the government, we will seek a solution on how to remedy this. It's not an easy one. It's not an easy one because these things are happening frequently.
Right. So if I was able to give you a blank check today and say, fix the school system, money's no longer the issue, what are some of the steps you're going to implement?
Number 1, I would implement all what we've lost from the subsidy, because right now, because of the cut of the subsidy, we are 2 months back, let's say, in payment for the taxes, for the asset fee, but we're looking at means to get it paid. And they understand because we're communicating with them. That's the first thing that I will tackle. The second thing would be the fights in the school, what we can do to prevent that.
Sure.
Get all stakeholders on board.
School programs.
Right, exactly. That's what I was going to mention. Get all stakeholders involved, get their ideas, get their input, and work on it right away, immediately.
What about higher education? Do we need to have better, so we have USM, you mentioned you used to lecture at USM.
Yes.
Okay. What are the conditions at USM and how important is it to our society in preparing people for our economy? What are your thoughts on the role of USM? They also have had real financial struggles and came very close to having to close their doors. What's your thoughts on that? How much insight do you have to USM and how they can better serve?
I don't have much insight on them, but I can guarantee you that they are on the same mindset as we are when it comes to the subsidy cut. Yes, we need higher education. We need more trainers on board. I know there are some that I'm familiar with, but we need more skilled trainers on board where we can give or offer or provide higher education to the community. Right now, there's a great lack of that.
What about the curriculum? How is our school curriculum preparing, again, the upcoming generation? Are we preparing them properly? The lessons they're learning in school, the syllabus of each classroom, the subjects that they're learning, is it the correct curriculum to prepare the youth for today's economy in St. Martin?
Well, I can say right now, yes, they are preparing the correct curriculum, but that is the reason why we need our teachers back. That is the reason why we can't continue cutting. Because if we continue to do this, just ask yourself, what happens then?
Yeah. Oh, it's scary to think. It's very scary to think.
Correct.
But what about introducing, like, we're a tourism-based economy, and to the best of my knowledge, we don't teach tourism in school. Or are we teaching it in high school? I don't know.
No, we don't. And that is one of the key points too that we should focus on.
Of course.
Because right now we're lacking on tourism.
Yes.
We need tourism.
I feel like we're not preparing the upcoming generations
Exactly.
for a tourism-based economy, for a technology-based tourism economy as well.
And that's one of the things that we can implement.
Okay.
What another thing is, for example, the Dutch language. We also,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
one thing that we need to keep on our island. That's one thing that we need to invest in.
Okay.
Okay, to make sure that that the kids can speak Dutch. I mean,
Okay.
you walk around. I'm not saying that they're not speaking Dutch, but
The level of Dutch, from
Right.
my understanding, and for me, look, I was born here, grew up here, but I was sent away to school in the U.S. from a very young age,
Right.
and my Dutch is not good.
Right.
I mean, first to admit it. So I can understand when a conversation's going on, but it's very hard for me to interject or jump into the conversation in Dutch.
Exactly.
And you're of the opinion definitely Dutch should be, because there's been a suggestion made by another party or a candidate in another party that we should get rid of the Dutch language.
I think that's a big mistake.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
in my opinion.
Yeah, fair.
That's a big mistake. We are under the Dutch flag.
We have Dutch passports. Yeah.
So then, why are we holding Dutch passports? We can't speak Dutch. I mean, excuse me. You know,
Yeah.
I think that's a big mistake right there.
Right, fair, okay. What about other language? Should it be mandatory? Like, we don't speak Papiamento here, but it's a connect. You're from Aruba.
Yes.
So Aruba and Curacao, I always feel that, like, they're the cousins of St. Martin, right? So should we be learning Papiamento as well, or is that something that culturally is not for St. Martin?
I would say, Papiamento is how I always learned it. That's a dialect. It's not really a language.
Okay.
It's one of the languages that the slaves a long time they implemented in order to make their plan of escape.
Yes.
That their supervisor, whoever, could not understand what they're trying to do.
Right.
So it's not really a language. What I would say we need to keep English. Must speak Dutch. That's for sure.
Okay.
Okay. And also I'm even brave to say French, because that's what we use here on the island as well.
It's important for business, I would say.
Correct.
For sure.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Spanish. Look at the community. Look at the community that we have
Spanish
here.
is a very St. Martin in general is a very multicultural
Correct. And I'm proud of
island.
that. I'm
Absolutely.
proud of
It's
that.
one of the things we should continue to embrace.
Correct.
And I think it'd be great if we saw every child coming out of our public school system could be fluent English, Dutch, French, and Spanish.
Correct.
We're really, in that instance, we're really preparing our youth for a global economy by giving them that skill set.
Let me give you an example on why Dutch is very important. I came from a background, in Aruba, where it is a must that you speak 3 languages.
Wow.
English, Dutch, Spanish.
Spanish.
You must, because that's what they're teaching in school.
Wow.
Okay, right now I speak 5. Okay, my daughter hated Dutch. She hated it. Okay, but she can speak it, and she was very good at it.
Yes.
And she wanted to just move away from the Dutch. And I told her, with all due respect to everyone, this is exactly what I told her over my dead body. But you're going to learn your Dutch, and you're going to go to school, and you're going to get your Dutch.
Thank you so much, Miss Benders. Thank you so much. In the interest of time, we have to come to a conclusion. But I want to encourage you to continue fighting that good fight. Education is so important, and I'm so glad to hear there's people within the community like yourself that are taking on this fight. And I wish you much success on the campaign trail. I hope, at whatever capacity, I hope you're able to make a positive difference on our education system and get into Parliament and do the good work that you're eager to do. I can see the passion in you.
And I will. This is not a time for promises, for empty promises. People just want for us to do it.
Yes.
And my message to St. Martin is, never give up. Don't give up on your country. Yes. Giving up is just too easy.
Right.
And giving up means there's no reason more for being strong. And they teach me how to be strong right here in this country. I mean, look how they gave a slap into Irma's face. What does that tell you? They fell, they crawled, they got up, and look at St. Martin today.
Resilient.
Okay, so they shouldn't give up. All what they have to do is just shift gear and look the other way. Shifting gear means no longer singing the same song over and over. After 10 years, you're still getting the results, the same results from that same song. But if you sing another song, you may be pleasantly surprised.
Yes. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you
Ms.
so
Benders.
much.
In conclusion, I'd love for you to send a last message directly to the voters, encouraging to come out on January 9th and hopefully casting their vote for you.
That's what I just said. I'm encouraging everyone to come out, not to give up. You're more than that. You deserve the best here on the island. And you are the one who decides on January 9th. You are the one that put us up there. You're the one that can take us down. You rule, St. Martin. Let's do it. Shift gear on January 9th, 2020. God bless.
Thank you so much, Ms. Benders, for coming through our studio. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. We wish you tons of success on the campaign trail and keep fighting that good fight.
Thank you. It's been an honor.
My pleasure. Thank you to everybody that tuned in. We've got another episode coming at you tomorrow. And as always, we welcome your feedback in the comment section below. See you tomorrow. My name is Arun Jagtiani, and I'm a proud St. Martin. In a few short weeks, our country is going to be heading to the polls to elect 15 new members to Parliament. And I think the entire voting population can benefit from knowing a little bit more about who these candidates are. Over the next few days, I'm going to interview a few new faces and a few political veterans. So join me, St. Martin. Let's talk politics.